We're going to have 2 tracks. There are going to be pitches here on the main stage. There's going to be pitches out in the second space. And here's how it's going to work. The founder of the startup, which I announce, will come up on stage. Please repeat for the tech guys here in the corner your name and also the name of the company you're pitching, just so we can keep track and we're sure we're all aware of who you are and we're pulling up the right presentation for you. You'll have 7 minutes. There is a watch right here. You see it ticking down. When it starts to blink red, this is your moment when you're done with the pitch. If you go over a few seconds, that's all right. After 30 seconds, I'll be right up here, and after 1 minute, I will ask the audience to applause. So latest by minute 8, you're out of time, and the audience will be applauding. There won't be any Q&A. We have to keep time. That's how it's going to go. So, here are the most promising startups gearing up for an ICO. We're going to start with Aon. The Aon network is a multi-tier blockchain network designed to support a future where many blockchains exist to solve unique industry problems and to power the services of the modern world. Nothing less than that, ladies and gentlemen. May I ask the founder of Aon Network to come up on stage now? All right, guys. I'm not going to pitch the company for you. So, Aon Network, if you're a founder of Aon Network, please come up now. It's your moment to shine. That is a very inconvenient moment to be in the bathroom. So they're already done. Do we have the founder of Aon Network anywhere here? Please put your hand up. Anybody here? All right, we're going to the next one. Time's up. If you ask nicely, I might give you an extra slot, but we're going to go down on the minutes. You only get 6. Next up is Dom Raider. Do we have the founder of Dom Raider? Yes, I like you. So Dom Raider is a service for recovering expired domain names or drop catching. What that exactly means and how it works? The stage is yours. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Christophe David. I'm not the founder of Dom Raider. I'm the CFO of Dom Raider. Thank you. And I'd like to introduce you our project. I don't know where's the video, just here. Our project is about creating a decentralized auction technology. First, I would like to share with you a few video introduction of our CEO, Tristan Colombe.
Welcome to the Dom Raider token sale. Dom Raider is a hyper-growth startup. We specialize in drop catching, a technique developed to snap up expired domain names. Let me share a few numbers with you. Our team has tripled in 1 year. This is spread over 3 countries, soon expanding to 5. We have over 20,000 transactions to our name, building an impressive customer base. We are accredited by international registries for 27 extensions, and we secured $4 million in funding. Our business is auction-based. And today, we would like to introduce the Dom Raider Network. It's an open-source blockchain for decentralized real-time auctions. The blockchain will be transparent, reliable, scalable, and interoperable without compromising on speed. The Dom Raider Network is not only aimed to register auctions and bids, it's the core of a complete new auctioning ecosystem, aimed to provide an innovative solution for all worldwide auctioning players. Live auctioneers, escrow, appraisal experts, delivery services, online auctions providers, and mobile apps developers will all be able to join the network provide their services, and add value to the blockchain. DOM token is at the heart of this ecosystem. We spend tokens to organize new auction, escrow the bids, and buy additional services to third parties. Anyone will be able to get tokens, auctioning goods or services, getting commission on sales, and selling additional services. Members of the DOM community can even participate in our domain spotters program to get free tokens. We would love you to join us in seizing this unique opportunity.
Thank you. What Tristan didn't say in this video is that our company is in the business for nearly 20 years now. First, we were a casual gaming website in France with more than 35 million of players. And we sold this company 5 years ago. We kept the money in the group, and now we manage 3 activities. First one in real estate, a second one, which is an investment fund, and the third one, of course, it's DOM. DOM is already the European market leader of drop catching, with more than 10,000 auctions already organized. To better understand what is the historic core business of DOM, I want to watch with you another quick video.
Did you ever feel curbed when choosing your domain name? Frustrating, isn't it? DOM gets you the best newly dropped domain names before.
Nothing. Okay. Continue with no slide. It's not easy. So I was telling that, of course, we've got a very large team of more than 33 employees, which all of them are also shareholders of the company. What we'll see is we also have a great advisory board with more than 20 advisors, already well-known people in the crypto environment. We also built a lot of partnerships with many well-known companies, with banks, with the French institutional bank, public bank of investment. Nothing is working. Yeah. Okay. As you can see now, the team on the left. Some of our advisors, they are not all here, and some of our partners. I will tell you a bit more about our project. We knew for a long time the limitations of the current existing technology in operating auctions. And we decided a few months ago to develop our own decentralized auction technology. We want this technology to be scalable, reliable, transparent, fair, and with very low cost and very fast. To develop this technology, we aim to build a very large ecosystem. Of course, our technology will be the core of the system, but we'll quickly add new functions and add also new services in order to organize auction sales, that that everybody can organize its own auction sale. Of course, the DRT token will be the core of the system. It will be used mainly to buy products or services in an auction sale, but you've got other way like the spotters program, for example, to earn new tokens. You will be able to earn tokens if you sell products on the sale, or if you sell additional service to the platform. Every assets will be able to be sold on our blockchain. It's not only domain names, it can also be cars, real estate, stamps, everything. Of course, we'll start by selling domain names, and it should happen by at the beginning of next year. Concerning the token sales, the pre-sale was a great success. The public sale is also a big success at the moment, and we'll probably be able to launch the first stretch goal very, very soon. A stretch goal is an additional token sale regarding an associated project. How we'll use these funds. First, they will be used to develop our business, to develop our technology, and we hope to be able to do a large M&A operation too. As you could see in the slide before, we also have a stock of tokens, and these tokens will be used to mainly to develop our community and, of course, to support the exchange rate of our token. Not disclaimer, regulation aspects. It's the last aspect of our project, but maybe not the least. As you can see, this operation is a very important operation for our company with a budget more than 1 million euros. And the challenge, as we are supported already by French institutions, was to set up an ICO in France. So we had to do a lot of legal works. We got to speak with the French regulator, with the fiscal administration, social administration. It was not easy, but today we can say our ICO is a compliant ICO because there's no law in France like everywhere. But it's by being transparent with them, it's fine for us. We've got the right to do this in France. Okay, thank you very much.
So, first pitch of the day. Sorry for the technical glitch. My sincere apologies in the name of the team. So, next startup, we don't do any Q&As, so thank you so much.
Okay.
And I'll take this, and I'll take that one.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Dumb Raider, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, I would like to welcome Greg Gilman, founder of Science. Science is the first incubator to run an ICO. Greg, the stage is yours, and here's the clicker.
Good afternoon, everyone. As you said, my name is Greg. I'm one of the founders of Science. There we go. So Science is an existing incubator and venture fund. We have about just under $200 million under management at this point across our multiple vehicles. Just like the last speaker, we are running a securities offering for our token. So all that disclaimer language that says basically everything I'm going to say is only probable, possible, we expect, we anticipate. So if any of our friends are listening from the SEC, these are all forward-looking statements. We are ultimately the leading firm in Los Angeles that is attracting early-stage businesses. We get involved at the earliest stages with entrepreneurs who are looking to build something big. Over the last 5 years, we've founded, this is actually outdated, more than 80 companies. We've created more than $2 billion in total equity value. We've raised almost $400 million in follow-on investments for our portfolio, and we've had 5 businesses acquired, including the most well-known Dollar Shave Club, which was acquired for $1 billion cash by Unilever last year. We've also sold companies to Google and the New York Times, among others. We returned all of the capital from our initial investors in under 4 years, and we are now starting a blockchain incubator. We've got a great team. My co-founders, Mike Jones, who used to be CEO of MySpace, Peter Pham, who probably half the people in this room know because his entire job is to raise money, and Tom Dare, who has taken multiple companies public. We're the core executive team. Ultimately, we've generated a repeatable process that allows us to work with both externally and internally generated companies. So companies like Dollar Shave Club, where we had an entrepreneur come to us who was looking to grow a business that ultimately, over the course of 4.5 years, we built with them. Or companies like Hello Society that we sold to the New York Times, where we generated the concept internally and then partnered with a management team to actually grow it. And we figured out how to identify the industries we're interested in, to analyze the exits, the value, the legal cost of doing these things, and then decide whether or not this is a business we want to be pursuing at all. Once we make that decision that yes, we're going to pursue it, then we look for the talent, the team, the money, how are we going to finance it, and then ultimately just test and refine until we figure out whether this is something that's going to be viable. We kill businesses far more often than we fund them. We've developed a data-driven process where it is an iterative process. At every step of the way, it can be killed or we can go forward. So we create an idea, we design it, media test it, get the data back from it, redesign and test again. And this is how we've been able to develop so many companies so quickly in a very short period of time with relatively limited capital. And as I mentioned before, we attract phenomenal follow-on investors to our companies. So to walk through how this worked from a very brief discussion of Dollar Shave Club, we identified an industry that we wanted to go into, in this case, e-commerce. We looked at the different revenue models that we found attractive. We hired team members as needed to actually help us evaluate the companies, and then we evaluated dozens of them. Dubin was one that stood out as an entrepreneur with particular gift and promise. We negotiated a very preferred equity position in the company, and then we paired with him to actually build the business from the ground up from the very beginning. As he scaled, after a year in our office, he finally decided to move his team of 25 out, and they decided to keep us on the board, or we remained on the board all the way through their transaction with Unilever. So we are sort of cradle to exit investors. We don't run classes, we don't run cohorts. And now, as I said, we have recently announced the creation of our blockchain-specific incubator. So this will focus on blockchain and blockchain-enabled businesses only. Everyone wants to know, what do the economics look like? We have a very unique token structure that we're very excited about because nothing like this has ever been tried before, much to our developers' dismay when they had to actually create the token to do this, because the incubator will own both equity and tokens in our startups. The holders of the science token will benefit from both of those value chains. So whenever the incubator creates a portfolio company and that portfolio company has its own token sale, 70% of all of the tokens that are held by the incubator are automatically flowed out to the holders of the science token. So we reward our investors, or our investors benefit from this potentially limitless future stream of tokens from all of the portfolio companies we create. And that's potentially limitless because we use the other 30% to sell on an as-needed basis to continue to refresh the incubator. So we've created an evergreen vehicle structure that can continue to flow out these tokens to the investors in the science token. But that's only half of the equation, because on the other side, we have the equity that the incubator owns. So when the next Dollar Shave Club sells and the incubator owns a significant portion of equity, we take 70% of that equity and use it to repurchase the science tokens in the open market. So we're reducing supply, potentially increasing price, and it means that there's a ever-shrinking supply of the science tokens that benefit from the future portfolio company token sales. And the other 30% is retained by management. So this is not our first rodeo. In addition to building dozens and dozens of non-blockchain companies. We've been involved in the space for the last 4+ years. Most recently, that's looked more like investing in other ICOs as we prepare for this, and we've actually been running a trading desk to learn more about the ICO market internally and to get smart on the space, and have invested in literally dozens, if not hundreds, of ICOs and different tokens at this point. So the companies that we are looking to build look like a lot of the things we've heard about today, and we are pretty far down the road on several of these, including tokenization of asset-backed securities. We are fundamentally believers in the FAT protocol layer, that most of the money will be made at the protocol level, and we have numerous companies or numerous concepts we are incubating already in that area. And like we heard about on the last panel, there's a distinct need for the services and infrastructure for this asset class that does not yet exist. And being, allocators of other people's capital, we are very much used to having those tools at our disposal. We've put together a great advisory board, many of whom are here today, or speaking today, or will if you're journeying with us on the next step to Kiev and then to London. I'm sure you'll see a lot of these faces around. So in terms of the private sale, it started last Monday. We have a maximum of 99 US investors. It's a $250,000 minimum. Rest of the world, we have no limit on the number of investors, although it's a $50,000 minimum in the pre-sale. There are no discounts, no bonus, and no bounty. It is a securities offering, and any of those things put it into Ponzi scheme land, and none of us want to see what the inside of a jail cell looks like. So there are, again, no discounts, no bonus, no bounty. The public sale starts in another 2.5 weeks. The minimums disappear unless you're paying with US dollars, in which case there's still a $25,000 minimum. So if you want to learn more, please go to science.tokenhub.com. Yes, this is a slide you want to take a picture of, please. Or you can email us at science.tokenhub.com, and we have a very active Telegram channel. It's all moderated for us by our friends at Argon, so if you've had experience with Argon in the past, don't hold it against us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Greg. So next, I would like to welcome Ed Rodriguez, founder and CEO of Swapi Network, on stage. Swapi Network is a decentralized platform that aims to provide universal access to credit. Ed, the stage is yours.
Hello, friends. Good afternoon. My name is Ed Rodriguez. I'm the CEO of Swapi Network, and we are waiting for a minute for the PowerPoint. So how are you today? Great event, right? I'm loving it. All right. So we have a dream that is the universal access to credit. And we are fortunate to have a few early stage investors like Tim Draper and Masahiko Fukano and Jordi Safon. Thank you for being here. Support us, friends. So this is our dream, universal access to credit. That's why we created our online lending platform in Brazil called Meu Crédito. We had around 9,000 loan requests and made 30 loans, including Arthur, whose dream was to get married. And he did get married and accomplished his dream. But we soon realized that the problem of access to credit in developing nations like Brazil is not the origination of the loans, but instead the economics of the countries that make the loans extremely expensive. For example, in Brazil, the average interest rate per loan is 145% per year. Wow, very expensive, right? So the origin of that problem is, first, the high cost of capital, that we, as a lending company, had access to 22% interest capital. That means that in order to be able to lend, we had to charge much more than 22% per year. Also, the information asymmetry between the big guys and the small players like us. When they control the information, if you don't have good information, you can't make good lending decisions. And finally, the oligopolistic markets that crush the little guys, the new entrants. That's why there are 2 billion people in the world who are excluded from the financial system. And that's the problem. And luckily, we have the solution, Swapi Network. It's a decentralized network that is incentivized by the creation of a new token, the swap coin, and it aims to solve the problem of access of high cost of capital and the information asymmetry. So the swap exchange, the one up, is a platform to connect investors from countries like Switzerland and Japan, where they have negative interest rates, with credit companies from Brazil, for example. So the companies will be able to raise money at much lower cost, and the investor will have higher returns. So we are not doing peer-to-peer. It's actually peer to business to consumer, right? Just to also, the Swap Financial ID is a online mobile phone app which you can download and put your financial information like banking statements, previous loans, testimonials from people you did business with. And then this becomes available for all credit companies at the same time. And to consult, the companies have to pay you in tokens. So you can generate a passive income by putting your information on the blockchain. And that way, we solve the information asymmetry problem. And the data market is the interface where credit companies and other companies can purchase in bulk this information anonymously. So instead of people making money with your information, you are actually being paid in tokens by your information, right? That's transformative. And that's an example of how we are going to create a circular economy around the token. Like the great article wrote by Jamie, right, from Outlier Ventures. I really like that article. So we are going to incentivize a network of investors, credit company, who will be doing business with our token, the swapping token. Also, by using our solutions and by adding new players like credit scoring. So we really want to be a utility token for other people to use. And this will drive the demand for it in the long term. So this is our token offer economics. We will issue 100 million swap tokens. We will do a 70%, we will sell 70% of it in the ICO. And for all the founders and early investors, there will be a 3 years vesting period with a 1 year lockup. So you will know that we are very committed to the project. So in the date of the crowd sale, 1 Ether will be equal to 300 swap tokens. And the crowd sale starts on November 20th. Please visit our website, swap.network, if you want to learn more. This is our team. We are 11 people right now. I'm a former Google employee and went through Draper University. That's how we met Tim Draper. Tulio is our CTO, has a master's degree in computing science from Brazil. Plinio is a great designer. And this is the founding team. Also, we have Bruna Fiore and Bruno Neves as our COO and CFO. They are both economists. We have 3 more developers, 2 financial analysts, and 1 great marketing person. So these are our partners. In the legal side, we have the support of MME here in Switzerland, HCO in Brazil, and the support of Ryan David Williams, our attorney in the US. In regard to the technical supporters, we have a partnership with A-Star Labs, which are the biggest company developing in the blockchain in Brazil, and IT2S Group, which is a security consultants for the ICO. We are also part of Crypto Valley Association. So this is us. Our dream is the universal access to credit. Thank you so much. If you have any question, I'm available.
Thank you, Ed Rodriguez, for this great pitch. We're just pitching away over here. So, next up is Modex. Modex is a smart contract marketplace and will be pitched to you by the Chief Strategy Officer, Graham Thomas Torpy. Graham, the stage is yours.
Is this working? Great. Great. Okay, I'm going to try and do this without my notes. One too many devices. So, Modex, we are a smart contract marketplace. What's going on right now in this space? We have a bubble, right? And I'm not talking about the Wall Street version of a bubble. I'm talking about the silo of this technology. You know, the people in this room, the people in this community understand its value, understand its necessity, and understand the paradigm shifting implications of deploying cryptocurrencies and the blockchain alike. However, there's a disconnect between the development community and the end users. And there's a disconnect between the applications of smart contracts and, again, the end users. So, limited adoption is something we're experiencing. There's limited applications. We've talked about this. Right now, the talent pool is still small. It's highly specialized. And as a result, enterprise organizations, SMEs, and individuals alike who want to participate are having an issue getting into the market. So we see a clear opportunity for there to be much more accessible smart contracts. And the way to do that is to connect the developers with the applications that can deploy those smart contracts. Our background and where Modex came from is in fintech. So the team behind Modex is the same team that released the award-winning social payments application called MoneyMailMe. We were ranked the best social payments application in the UK in 2017. And so in the genesis of the roadmap, or in the roadmap of that product, we wanted to deploy cryptocurrencies. And we were looking at some of the issues in doing that. You know, how does a user have crypto in their pocket and go in and use it in coffee shops? Okay, there's some localities across the world that are doing this. You know, you go to Tokyo and it's much more common to be able to pay for goods and services in Bitcoin, right? But in terms of widespread adoption of both peer-to-peer transfers, you know, where you want to send cryptos to a friend, or if you want to go and pay for, you know, goods and services in the merchant community with cryptos, that's very difficult to accomplish. So this is just an isolated use case because we realized for our application, we needed smart contracts to solve some of the nuances, issues that are such as consumer protection, you know, where, you know, if you make a payment and that's final, you know, with cryptos, you don't have the same kind of protection that you have with PayPal or services like Visa. And these are the kinds of situations that will be solved by smart contracts. But those smart contracts need to be deployed in applications like the one I'm talking about. And so we broadened our scope, okay? And we realized that there was an opportunity to solve this problem we were having for our social payments application for the entire development and broader blockchain community. So what's going on here? On one hand, you've got the developers and smart contract shops that are building this IP. And what the marketplace does is it connects businesses, individuals, enterprises, whatever scale of the end user who's desiring a given solution. And it connects the two. So developers will be able to upload, plug and play smart contracts, or they'll be able to connect with businesses who desire something customized, or they'll be able to do something in between. You know, if there's an existing plug and play contract, then a business can say, hey, I want this, but I need it tweaked to fit my application, and that can be facilitated right through the marketplace. So on the bottom, you know, we have a number of examples of how this will be deployed. Our products, MoneyMailMe and M3 Payments, are just two examples of that, and those will be the first products that we integrate into the marketplace to facilitate the launch of our platform. However, we will have an API that is going to be open for third-party app developers and other companies to plug in and gain access to this ecosystem. So what are the benefits? Right now we've talked about adoption issues and just a disconnect between the two ends of the equation. But there are other subtleties that are really important here. We need to have a solid vetting process, and we need to address peer review, pen testing, IP considerations. So for example, if I'm a smart contract developer, I'm uploading a contract, I want to make sure that contract isn't going to be stolen by someone who's going to be auditing it on the platform. How do we do that? And we have a couple different use cases that facilitate that flow. So on one hand, a smart contract developer can upload something that's open source, just like you might do in GitHub, or they can upload something that is only for review by select vetted developers or within a transaction ecosystem between them and a given business. Naturally, there's an opportunity for us to expand our platform and have other plugins that will allow you to automatically bug test or pen test a smart contract in a given language, but that functionality will be rolled out in version 2 of the platform. So, right now, Ethereum is the primary blockchain of choice for smart contract applications. However, we know that is going to expand, and we're already seeing it with the likes of Waves or Komodo or Coco. And so in our vision, Modex Smart Contract Marketplace will start supporting and focusing on smart contracts on the Ethereum blockchain. And as we expand, we'll add in different protocols for developers to work with and for applications to deploy in their respective apps or business. So I jumped ahead before, and I was talking about our application, and this seeds the traction behind the company. Our company's been going for 2 years. Our app's been deployed in over 130 countries, and we've already raised more than $3 million in funding. We have a team of really, really amazing people on both the technical end and the business development side of the equation. And before I get into that, I'll just touch a little bit more about our traction. Inside of our app, this is the MoneyMail.me solution is going to be one of the flagship apps that will start deploying smart contracts that come out of our marketplace. So again, this is a fintech example. This is an initial use case, and we're actively building partnerships with other app developers to connect with our marketplace and deploy smart contracts and ultimately deploy blockchain technology. Okay, so the team. Yes, I'm running out of time. Thank you. We have a really great team, and I will let you check out our website where you can download our white paper. That's modex.tech, and there's going to be, we are actually publicly releasing our white paper this coming week after our presentation in Kiev, and we will have all the information on the token sale details, the structure of the token utility, as well as our partnerships and more details on our team. So, sorry I've gone over here, but I'm going to excuse myself from the stage. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Graham. All right. So, next up, he's already here, Stefan Karpiszek, founder of Etherisk. Etherisk builds decentralized insurance applications. Here's everything you need to make the most of those 7 minutes.
Thank you so much. What a great welcome. My name is Stefan. I'm one of the 3 co-founders of Etherisk. We are all 3 here, so please find us after this presentation. We are building decentralized insurance. I like to think of it as reinventing insurance on the blockchain. Let me walk you through a very concrete, very tangible example. This is the flight delay insurance, the flight delay DEP. We have released this over a year ago now for DEFCON 2, the Ethereum Developer Conference, and I will quickly walk you through the process so you understand what decentralized insurance means and what are the consequences for this huge, huge industry. This is a normal website. you use it to interact with a smart contract that is sitting on the Ethereum blockchain. You can use it right now. You can try it yourself at fdd.etherisk.com. So we select a flight here. We are flying from JFK to London Heathrow. And we are presented with a policy. The policy shows us exactly how much we will get paid out if this particular flight will be delayed. So in the case the flight is cancelled, we get 30 times our premium. In the case the flight is delayed by 15 to 29 minutes, we would get around 7 times what we paid in. If I click apply here, my browser pops up. This is MetaMask, a browser plugin, which gives you a wallet in your web browser. And as soon as you accept this transaction, you transfer a small amount of money, the premium, to the smart contract. You also tell the smart contract your flight data, and that's it. That's the last step that's ever needed. There is no more interaction needed. There is no claims process whatsoever. As soon as your flight is delayed, you automatically get a payout. And the best thing, there is no insurance company involved. It's just software. It's just a smart contract on the blockchain. Nobody can deny you this payout. Nobody can control it. And we think this is a huge, huge benefit and a great user experience too. The nice thing about this is we can apply the very, very same principle to other insurance verticals. And we have done so. We've gotten a lot of great feedback on this. And we have implemented this with weather and came up with a weather-based crop insurance. And I spare you the details, but it works exactly the same way as the flight delay insurance, just with a different data source. And as soon as the weather is too bad for your crop to bring you revenue, you get automatically a payout. The interesting thing here is this enables completely new markets. A farmer in many African countries at the moment has no chance to get such an insurance because it just does not pay. It does not work from a commercial perspective for the insurance companies to offer such a product. With a smart contract and decentralized insurance, this makes perfect sense. It's a zero-sum game. There is no insurance company involved that needs to make money on this. So we can have insurances with something like $1 per month premium. That's not possible today. High-level architecture, very simple. It's a smart contract sitting on the Ethereum blockchain. It's interacting with what we call an oracle, a data source that's offline. It's a web database, flightstats.com in one example. And you have the user interface. This can be a web application, or it also works in Status, which is a mobile Ethereum client. Our vision, our goal, we think this is highly beneficial for consumers. It will make insurance much, much more transparent, provably fair, and highly standardized. And we think this can cover the whole value chain of insurance. We have released a few papers on this, a white paper already last year. We are coming up with a token model for a platform token to enable everybody, including you, to come up with new insurance products and deploy them very easily on the blockchain. And this is our roadmap. So we are in 2017. We are building up our team. We have about 30 people now working on this project. We are doing a lot of educational work with the regulators. We think it's super important to talk to the regulators, educate them about blockchain and smart contracts. We are working in 4 jurisdictions now. We recently joined the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, and we hope that this year, maybe early next year, we will sell the first insurance fully licensed, fully regulated over the Ethereum blockchain. And in 2019, at least, we will have a nice platform and a nice community. And you don't invest in a startup, you invest in an industry, in a decentralized form of an insurance industry. So we have a lot of big challenges, and luckily we have very, very good people. And I'm especially proud to announce 2 new advisors to our team today, which is William Mugayar and Jake Brookman. And we are very happy to have you guys. It's a pleasure to be working with you on this. We have recently moved to the Crypto Valley in Zug, have found very good partners there with Lakeside Partners and Inacta AG. Ralph has joined our board of advisors. And we have also recently announced, working with Co-Founded, preparing a token sale. And I know that's what you are all waiting for. I won't give you a date, not yet. So we will have a token sale later this year. We are preparing this. We want to be very safe on the regulatory side, investing a lot of time in KYC and identifying our investors. Yeah. And one more thing, we strongly believe in nurturing and fostering the community. So we will have a developer conference on the topic of decentralized insurance. This will take place one day before the big Ethereum developer conference, DevCon 3 in Cancun. And I'm happy to see many of you there to talk about decentralized insurance. And my time is up. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Everybody is pretty much keeping in time. I just need to stand there. It's pretty cool. All right. So next up, we are super on time, and the next one's Eric Mendelsohn, Chief Executive Officer of Recordgram. Recordgram's an all-in-one mobile producer marketplace, so recording studio and social network that allows users, and this is the catch, to create original songs with award-winning music producers for under $5. How that works, you're going to tell us.
Hi, everyone. My name is Eric Mendelsohn, executive music producer, artist manager, and the CEO of Recordgram. I'm here with my co-founders, Grammy Award-winning music producer DJ Blackout and multi-platinum recording artist Mims. There are millions of people around the world that have a burning desire to be a music artist. However, they either don't have access to quality producers or they can't afford to pursue a career in music. The solution to their problem is Recordgram. Recordgram is an all-in-one mobile producer marketplace, a recording studio, and a social network that allows our users to create original songs with award-winning music producers for under $5, all from the palm of their hand. Our users, like Justin, can discover beats that sound just like this. Now that Justin's discovered this beat, he can add his vocals to it to create an original song that sounds just like this.
You give me such a great feeling, take me high till I touch the ceiling. I'm glad I have you in my life.
Justin's created this original song. He can also shoot a video to it within Recordgram, which he can then share across all of his social networks, instantly turning his friends into fans. Justin's video looks just like this.
You give me such a great feeling, take me high till I touch the ceiling. I'm glad I have you in my life.
Recordgram breaks down barriers and empowers anyone, whether they're in South Korea, China, or Switzerland, the ability to awaken their inner musician. So let's meet one of those musicians. Meet producer Tony Fad. Tony comes from a small town in Russia. He owns expensive studio equipment and he makes great beats. But the problem for Tony is that he doesn't have relationships with artists to sell his production. So he uploads his beats across all his online platforms, and he even gives them away for free. Let's meet our other customer, Willie, the artist from New Jersey. Unlike Tony, Willie doesn't have a lot of money. Apparently his gold chains must be fake. He's always dreamed of working with his favorite music producer, but he doesn't have access to them. And even if he did, he wouldn't be able to afford their production. So he downloads and plays around with karaoke apps, but he's not satisfied because he's unable to create original music until he discovers Recordgram. Recordgram solves both of our customers' problems. We're the user-friendly, convenient, and affordable solution that connects producer Tony with aspiring artist Willie. The bottom line is we make money for producers like Tony, and we save money and provide access to artists like Willie. Now, I know this may sound like a great hypothetical use case, but it's actually a true story. Today, Willie goes by the artist named Fetty Wap. He's one of hip-hop's biggest superstars. He's had 5 top 10 records over the last year, and his first single was produced by Tony, who he discovered online. The power of Recordgram is being able to bring that collaboration and discovery process to the mobile device so guys like Tony and guys like Willie can make amazing music. We charge producers like Tony $9.99 a month or $90 a year to upload their beats to our platform. And when those beats are leased or sold through our platform, We take 20% of that in-app purchase, and we provide 50% of that back to the producer as a royalty. Our go-to-market strategy includes affiliate marketing. We also have relationships with the following celebrities that you see on the screen and many more. We believe that when our celebrity friends reach out to their fans, they're going to react by downloading the Recordgram app. Our competitors are either web-based production marketplaces or they're heavily reliant on major label licensing, which is extremely expensive. The good news for us is that we are an original content creation platform, so we don't rely on any major label licensing like our competitors do. And we're the first company, of all the ones you see on the screen, to integrate blockchain technology and smart contracts to our business. We're going to succeed because we have established relationships with award-winning music producers like Timberland, who's one of our advisors, and we have established relationships with other artists as well who are going to help come onto the platform. They actually already are on the platform. We're the first to market a fully integrated mobile producer marketplace, recording studio, and social network, and we're definitely the first to also integrate blockchain technology and smart contracts to our business. Our team has collectively signed over 3 artists to major record labels, grossing over $20 million. My team, all we know is the music industry. We've been doing it our entire lives. To help us out, we have a complimentary advisory board made up of Grammy Award-winning music producer will.i.am, Grammy Award-winning music producer Timberland, and 6 or 7 other music and tech advisors that are also on our board. We were able to get those advisors through the Project Music Accelerator. Project Music is the only music accelerator on the planet. They picked 6 companies to be a part of their program in 2016, and we were one of them. The investors in Project Music are some of the biggest record labels, music publishers, and managers on the planet. They all have a vested interest in Recordgram, and they hope we succeed, which is also one of our competitive advantages because we don't have to spend a lot of time and money to meet these people. So why am I here? The music industry rips off artists, and they rip off music producers. There's over $2.5 billion right now in unclaimed royalties because the music industry is not transparent in accounting, and quite frankly, some people don't even know what songs they own or who owns what in the song. Blockchain technology and smart contracts is going to help solve that problem. We want to ensure that every artist that creates a song on Recordgram gets paid properly, and we want to make sure that every contributor to the song is accounted to in the ledger. So there's about 1,500, ICOs or token sales out there that you guys can participate in, and I want to give you 8 reasons why we're a little bit different. Unlike 95% of them, we're more than an idea. We actually have a product in the marketplace right now, and it's winning awards. We are the most recent winner of the TechCrunch Disrupt Cup in New York City, which is the most coveted prize in technology. So not only do we have music validation, we also have technology validation. Our seed round was led by globally recognized Lightspeed venture partners. You can see some of their portfolio listed behind me. Recordgram is also part of their portfolio. And we're on Apple's original series called Planet of the Apps. If you have an Apple Music subscription, you can actually watch us right now. We're in episode 9. Hundreds of thousands of companies applied to be on the show. Only 36 were selected. We were one of 36 that were on the show with Jessica Alba, Gwyneth Paltrow, will.i.am, and Gary Vaynerchuk. And because of this, we were already featured on the prime placement of Apple's store. As I mentioned, we have an amazing team that's also supported by the music industry. Someone said to me yesterday there's several, music tech-related ICOs that are in the market right now, but what really separates us is our team. We come from this industry, not from outside of it. And, as I mentioned, we also have significant use for blockchain and smart contracts into our business. We're not here riding the ICO craze. When we implement these technologies, they're going to immediately impact what we're doing. We have about 7 utility functions, possible utility functions for our token, and they are: artists will be able to buy beats through our platform using our token. Producers will be able to subscribe to our platform through our token. Music fans will be able to tip their favorite artists based on the songs that they like through our token. We'll also be able to provide referral tokens to the music community for sharing and engaging in our content. You can't get that on Spotify or any platform right now. The music fans who subscribe to those platforms, they don't get rewarded. Through our platform, they will. We're also going to be able to provide royalty payments to artists and producers through our token. Advertising. When advertisers advertise with us, we may accept fiat currency. We haven't figured that out yet, but if we do, we will convert that into our own token. Sync content library. Every time you hear a song on radio or television, they have to pay a fee. They're going to pay us through our token. Everyone is saying that the mobile phone is becoming the new television. We believe that with Recordgram, the mobile phone is also the new recording studio. Thank you for your time.
All right. Way to wrap it up. I was really inclined to just try to put a beat to some of that flow that was coming there in your pitch. Very cool. All right. So we have found Ion. And we're giving him 6 minutes, as I announced. Matthew Spoke's here. He's the founder, and Ion Network's a multi-tier blockchain network designed to support a future where many blockchains exist to solve unique industry problems and to power the services of the modern world. No small ambition there. Matthew, the stage is yours.
Thank you. So as somebody put on Twitter, I was not in the bathroom when they called me up earlier, but I apologize for missing my slot. My name is Matthew Spoke. I'm the founder of Aon. I'm also the CEO of the company behind Aon called Nuco. We're based in Toronto, Canada. We've been operating for about a year and a half at this point, primarily focused on the enterprise market. How do blockchains kind of change the future of how enterprises are built? I sit on the board of directors of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. And prior to that, I started the first blockchain team at Deloitte back in 2014 called Rubix. So, our background in this industry has always been, why does this technology change the enterprise? What we realized along the way is that there was a lot of unsolved challenges around scaling this technology, not within any one network, but more and more so between networks. How do we allow the multitude of blockchains today to coexist? You've probably heard a lot of ideas stemming from what types of applications and business models can we build on top of any particular blockchain? What I'm here to tell you is I don't think the infrastructure of this industry is quite ready for that yet. So for us to kind of mature this to the next level, we really need to start thinking about these infrastructure challenges. We call Aon the third generation blockchain network. So that kind of implies that there are two previous generations of blockchains. So as you all are familiar with, Bitcoin, technologies like Ripple, and like an innumerable number of altcoins that got created around the same time, focused on this concept of moving value peer-to-peer in a very simple, kind of cryptographically secured way. A lot of value here, a lot of exciting innovation happening on top of these networks, but relatively simple in their design. After that, we saw technologies like Ethereum come up, and then all of the enterprise kind of market focusing on how do we take this concept of smart contracts, automating business processes, and put them on top of a blockchain. As I mentioned, we're one of the founding members of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. We're part of that technical steering group, but there's also just as much interest going into projects like Hyperledger and R3 and an innumerable number of other projects that are focusing on building new blockchains for different industries, different geographies, et cetera. So what are we missing after this kind of second evolution of blockchains? Well, from our perspective, we're still dealing with challenges of isolation, where now we've got probably over 1,000 actively used blockchains that we think are going to scale to tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and maybe millions of blockchains. So between those blockchains, we have a scaling challenge. How do I build applications that rely on the logic of many different underlying blockchains? How do I enable some blockchains to maintain privacy while others are completely transparent? And how do I increase the amount of transactions that can actually run through these blockchains to get performance up to a level where we could take on the MasterCard and Visa networks of the world? So that's what we're building with Aon. What can Aon do? Aon is essentially a hub and spoke model of how do you connect blockchains to each other in a decentralized way. We have three kind of main purposes of our design. One is this concept of federating data, the ability to move a transaction from one blockchain to another without needing an exchange or an intermediary to sit in the middle of that transaction to kind of relay that message. Secondly, the ability to scale applications onto many blockchains. If you build an application today on top of Ethereum or Hyperledger, you're essentially building all of your application logic into a single network. How do you build an application that pulls its logic inputs and triggers outputs into a multitude of different blockchains without centralizing that application? This is what we're enabling with Aon. And the last thing is what we call spokes, the concept of designing a hub and spoke model where from our hub network, you can actually create and instantiate your own customized design of a blockchain that connects back into the ecosystem. So how does this all work? At a high level, Aon is what we call a multi-tier blockchain system. Built into our design is a new blockchain we're developing called Aon One. It acts as, on one side, an application home for people to build decentralized applications. On the other side, a router for which other blockchains could plug into. They plug into Aon One through the design that we call a bridge. This is a decentralized communication protocol that allows nodes on one blockchain to coexist on another blockchain and essentially witness transactions and pass them on so that we can have transactions getting triggered on many networks at the same time without having to rely on an exchange or somebody else in the middle. I'm going to jump through this really quickly because I got a minute cut off of my time earlier. So you can learn more about this, on our website. We've been doing a lot of research, and a lot of the implementation of this has been going for about 6 months at this point. The other thing that we're excited to announce is that we're working on what we call the first cross-blockchain token. So we're building a token right now on top of the Ethereum blockchain in the form of an ERC20 token. And what's unique about our token is that in its design, we're building a bridge from our first generation Aeon1 blockchain back to Ethereum so that our token can actually flow freely between these two blockchains. So that at any given point in time, you can have an Aeon token sitting on top of the Ethereum network or an Aeon token sitting on top of the Aeon1 blockchain. And it's the exact same kind of functional use, the exact same value. And from the user's perspective, it just flows freely back and forth between these two blockchains. The role of the token in the network at a high level, and there's two more that we're researching right now, but the first four that I'll walk you through is this concept of main chain operations, building software applications, building interchain bridges, and building participating networks. So main chain operations, as you're all familiar with in the blockchain industry, is kind of participating in consensus, paying for transaction fees. These types of functions are the main chain. Software applications is using the virtual machine and kind of burning fuel to actually run your software on top of that VM. Instantiating bridges by staking tokens and then charging tokens when people cross data across your bridge, and then designing and launching your own participating blockchains. I'll skip through this. We are launching some alpha software next month, but quick kind of glimpse into our team. We have to update this on a week-by-week basis at this point because I think it's about 3 or 4 weeks old. We're based in Toronto. We've been operating this company for just over 1.5 years. Prior to that, I've been leading a team for about 3.5 years in this industry. And we're setting out to kind of change what we think is the next big milestone in the infrastructure of this technology so that all these great ideas can actually scale to a point where they become meaningful in the future. If you want to find out more, you can find us at aeon.network. And nothing about our token sale, more to come on that. Thanks, guys.
All right. We're in Switzerland and we're just 2 minutes behind schedule. Punctuality is important to these people here. So with that, I'd like to let you into the break. There's going to be coffee, and please do pick up conversations with some of the startup founders. They're here if you want to learn more about the details they've been sharing on stage. Take this opportunity. You have half an hour. The gong will ring again in half an hour at 15:45. 3:45 p.m., that's your time. Thank you.